Okay, so now that you have cut out your fabric, let's make sure that you have all of the materials that you need to get started. So you should have cut out a big duffel handbag pattern. So you should have 2 big pieces of fabric cut on the grain. Wrong side, right side. Okay, so you'll need those to start. You also have cut out one of these on the grain, so you should have 2 of them. So let's cut it on the while it was folded. You'll need your pockets as well. So you'll need 2 of these. You only needed to cut one of these, which is the bottom of your bag, the bottom panel, but it needed to be cut, as you can see here, on the fold. So you can see my fold here. So if I unfold it, it's one big piece. Just make sure you got that. And then in addition, you cut out this little teeny guy. You'll need this for to cover the ends of the zipper later. And then of course you will need a zipper. You can choose whatever color you like to go with your fabric that you stamp. And you'll need 2 of these vinyl straps and you'll cut them according to this pattern. So, and there is another one of these that's skinnier, so you can just ignore that. How are you? And if you notice, this also needs to be cut on the fold, so it'll be a long strap. So you'll place it on the fold like this, and it'll be about this long after you cut it. Awesome. Okay, let's get started with the next step. All right, so before you get started, you're going to need to mark these lines. These are where you're going to place your pockets and your straps on your fabric. So these are for the straps, this square is for the pockets. And you can do this by using our little chalk tool. I like to get a little bit of chalk on a pin. So what I do is I open this guy. Be very careful not to spill all over the place. And I stick a pin in here, get it out chalky. Then you mark the corners by poking them through. And then you just like connect all the dots in the corners. So once you finish marking all the corners, you can take off the pattern and just mark the little wheel, the tracing wheel, so that you have your lines marked clearly. Alternatively, you can use a ruler and measure your lines to the corners, and then you can determine where to mark your fabric that way. So whatever works for you. So once you've got your little dots marked, you can just use a ruler to create a straight line. Kind of mark where it should go. I don't know if you can see this very good because it's white. You don't need like a ton, but just enough to so that you know where to put it in the pocket. And then if you want to mark where the straps go, straps will go as well. And then you'll be able to see for yourself on your pattern. So go ahead and mark all of those things for yourself on yours as well. And then we'll get started with the sewing. So the next thing you want to do is go to your ironing board and take your outer layer pocket, main side pocket, and you're going to fold the top edge over. So from the top, you'll fold it over a 1/2 inch, iron that down, and then fold it over another 1/2 inch, iron that down. So I'm going to measure that out with my little ruler here so I can be precise. That's what you're going to do. Make sure you go on the ironing board so that you don't burn anything beneath. So that's that much. Okay. Go ahead and finger press it first. I'll go ahead and get rid of this guy. Finger press it. Make sure that it's a 1/2 inch. Okay, awesome. And then we use our iron. Press that down. Awesome. And then we're going to fold it over a second time. Okay, so once you have pressed both of your pockets down, you're going to take these pockets to the serger and you're going to serge the raw side edges. So not the bottom, don't serge the bottom, just the side edges, these two. And try to not cut off any fabric. So you'll just want to serge it so that it has a finished edge, but don't cut off fabric if you can help it. If you do have to cut off just a little bit, just try to make it as minimal as possible. So, all right, I'm going to take these to the serger and then come back. All right, now that we've serged the edges of our pockets, we are going to align it onto our side panel here. So we take one of our side panel pieces that we marked earlier. See my little lines there? I know they're faint, but okay. We just put our pocket and we line them up right there. And with the bottom edge, we want those to match up. And then you can see that the fold needs to be at the top. So make sure the fold's at the top. Then you'll just kind of put a few pins here to keep it in place. Remember to pin horizontally from the way that you will sew. So just put a couple in here. Doesn't really need a ton. Hold it in place. Okay. And then once you're done pinning this on, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and get our first stitching in. And what you're going to do is you'll start at the top corner, go down a little bit, do a back stitch, sew the rest all the way down, do a little back stitch. And the seam allowance for this pattern is actually 1/4 inch, so it's 1/4. So that it's like this small edge. So if you serged, you just kind of follow the edge of your serging here. Just sew along the inner edge of your serging and follow the little 1/4 inch line. Okay, and I will take this to the sewing machine and meet you there. Okay, if you notice on our machines, there is no 1/4 mark that's labeled. So we have 3/8, we have 5/8, and this line in the middle is actually a half, and this one is going to be our 1/4 inch. So that's the line that we'll line up with. But if you notice, when we align our fabric up in here, you can't see any lines, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to use the edge of our presser foot right here. So we'll line up the edge of our fabric right there with the edge of our presser foot so that it follows the edge right along here. So when we sew, it will be a straight line at 1/4 inch. Okay, so when you're ready to sew, make sure you grab your thread. So go ahead and reach under and grab your bobbin thread as well. So you want to have both of these threads. You want to hold them while you start to sew. I like to also put my needle in right where I want it with the wheel on the side so that it doesn't start in a weird spot. Excuse me as I try to sew this one-handed real quick because I'm trying to video for you. So you're going to hold on to your thread and go ahead and start sewing. Okay, once you've gone about 3 stitches, you'll want to push the back button to do a back stitch. Okay, so just do like 2 or 3 of those. Make sure you take out your pins. You do not want to sew over your pins. And then you just go ahead and sew straight, keeping that in line with the edge of the presser foot all the way down. Take out the pins. You can go slow. Go as slow as you need. Okay. And then when you get to the bottom, you're going to back stitch again, remember? So we stop here at the very edge, we will back stitch and then sew over again. And then we'll just sew off, take it out, trim our threads, the little trimmer there, and voila! We have our straight stitch all the way down.